Tisztelt kolléganők, kollégák! Szeretettel köszöntök mindenkit. Remélem, hogy a létszám gyarapodni fog, hiszen egyre több kollégát sikerül rávenni arra, hogy errefelé vegye az irányt. Úgy gondolom, hogy mai két fórum nagyon érdekes és tanulságos lesz, mind a kettő más szempontból. Az első fórumunk vendége Németországból jött, a Német Kábeltelevíziós szövetség műszaki igazgatója, Carsten Engerke úr, aki a németországi helyzetről fog szerintem tanulságos dolgokat mondani nekünk. Mielőtt azonban erre sor kerülne, körünkben köszöntjük a Lengyel Kábeltelevíziós szövetség, a PIKE elnökét, Jerzy Straszewski urat, aki szeretne egy-két mondatot szólni hozzánk.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you very much for your invitation. I know that you have a special occasion in this conference. I would like to give you, Mr. President, a special letter from our PIKE, is our Chamber of Electronic Communication in Poland. I would like to read something. Congratulations and happy anniversary for Hungarian Cable Communication Association. We wish you all the best of lucky and very success. Friends from Polish Chamber of Electronic Communication for Hungarian friends. Dla węgierskich przyjaciół, I say in Poland. Thank you and wish you a Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we wish also the best for our Polish friends.
Next week we will also have a jubilee, 20 years of working our chamber, and invite you, of course.
Thank you and congratulations. Thank you very much. Köszönöm szépen. És most akkor kezdjük az előadást, átadom a szót Carstennek.
Yes, well, thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much for the invitation to have here a presentation from ANGA, from the German market. My name is Carsten Engelke. I am the technical director of ANGA, and I bring to you the best wishes from our president, Thomas Brown. He apologized that he cannot stay here with all these presidents from PIKE, from you. But I think we will have a good session this morning with some information about the German market. And for us, it's really important with our friends in Hungary that we exchange knowledge and that we use our common power to bring cable in front of the broadband. That's really important. At the end, that's our business, and for sure, cable is a very powerful infrastructure. I'm just looking for this one. I have my presentation here. I have a little bit to speed up, but I will do in this way. If you have any questions, we will do it at the end, or maybe you ask me directly, and I can explain some points to all your questions. Well, some words to ANGA. ANGA is nearly the same like your association here in Hungary. We have around 182 members, nearly 150 operators. In ANGA, you have around 300, I think. Yeah. Okay. And we have also 34 members, cable-orientated industry, consulting and services, but also the satellite operators. SAS, Astra, you know, Astra is now SAS, whatever, they changed their name. And we have Eutelsat with us because it's important to have the delivery to our infrastructure as a member in our association. It's really important. Well, let's have a brief view to ANGA Cable. This is the second part of ANGA Cable is the European biggest show for broadband, multimedia, and services. And this view shows to you what happens with ANGA Cable. We started 14 years ago, very small, and right now it's a very, very big trade fair, and we are happy to support it. And here in the convention program, we have very high-level people there in the different sessions. And I think it's quite interesting. The next date is the 4th to 6th June 2013. Well, cable. Cable in Europe is a quite interesting point. We in Germany are the biggest cable market with around 19 million customers. And we have around also many cable countries like Netherlands, Hungary, UK, France, Spain, whatever. There you find the numbers. It's very small. I thought that we have a bigger screen. But anyhow, the German market is in Europe one of the biggest markets, but not the fastest. I think countries like you here in Hungary, much more faster with new services, with implementation of new services. Let's have a look to digital cable in Germany. For sure, 100% of our cable is digital. It's very often a question coming from government guys to us, is your cable digital? Yes. It's depending on the technology. Well, and we have around 50% customers using digital cable. But on the other hand, people is happy to have the analog services. After the switch off at the satellite SES, we implemented again many analog cable services there. Let's have a view to the usage of media services. And we have here the different ages. The first is total, then 15 up to 29, 30 up to 49, and 50 plus. And you see that TV is the most interesting media used by people. And we heard years ago, 10 years ago, that TV goes down and internet take over everything. Right now, the numbers are totally different for Germany. And I think these numbers are very close to the European numbers in different countries. The only point is that newspapers and internet has a problem with each other. People in our age, 30 up to 49, will use both, but the next generation will only use internet services here and never read newspapers. Well, broadcast and magazines are in the same way like before. For Germany, we have usage of internet services via TV. It's well known with HBB TV services or stuff like this in the new TV sets with internet included. And here you see the numbers. How many TV sets have this service inside? And 2012, it's a known number with 3%, and 2013, 14, whatever, is a forecast. But the forecast shows that more people will use internet via their TV sets, and we will have much more TV sets in the homes which are able to use this service. And this is, for cable operators, really important, because the TV set is the main goal for cable operators. I have to step here. It's the main goal for cable operators to deliver their services. And right now, we have a combination of TV, broadcast services, and internet services. And that gives us a chance to deliver video on demand, stuff like this. Well, just jump to the voice lines in Germany. In Germany, we have around 39 million voice lines with analog and ISDN. And if you see that from 2005, the ISDN analog services decreases, and the voice over IP services via DSL and via cable services increases. And I think this curve will run much more faster down than in the last years, because more and more people recognize that cable triple play services are very, very convenient for them. IPTV. I think IPTV is again a very important topic for cable operators. And we have the top 10 countries with IPTV, and let's start in China, okay. Then we have France, US, South Korea, Japanese, Germany, Belgium, Russia, Netherlands. And Germany is here in this area, and we have right now around 2 million customers using IPTV services. Most customers are customers from Deutsche Telekom, but we have also other operators offering IPTV services. I think it's a challenge also for cable, but on the other hand, it's important that we know that cable is very powerful, and the feeling to use IPTV is different to use a cable service. The box come up much more faster in cable, or if you use analog services, you switch on your TV and you have your picture. At the other hand, with other boxes, you have to wait 1 minute or let's say 2 minutes, which coming up with their operation system. Well, but we have our eyes keep on IPTV services. Okay, let's have a look to the total traffic data in Germany. And you'll see that we have here in billion gigabytes a very big traffic, and this traffic increase year by year. But the average traffic of all customers per month is around 5 gig. And please remember all the limits of the different offers with 5 gig. If you have a look to mobile services, you are in the best contracts limited to 5 gigs. And here you see the reason why. On the other hand, if you have only a contract for 500 megabyte, after 1 week, you have no internet access via your mobile. And therefore, it's important to understand what happens with the traffic at the customer. And right now, the customer with different services increases these numbers. It's not coming from the industry or from business services. In Germany, all the private customers increase these numbers. Yes, let's have a look to DVB-T. DVB-T in Germany is for free for the customers, and we have to handle all these transmitter stations for DVB-T. And in Germany, for sure, we have a problem to implement DVB-T2. DVB-T2 is important to deliver HD services via DVB-T and to deliver pay services via DVB-T. Right now, with DVB-T, we have only SD services, standard digital services, and the bandwidth is around 2 megabit per second. On bigger flat screens, it's not a great fun to have these pictures, and this is an advantage for cable or for satellite or for IPTV services. The penetration of DVB-T in Germany is around 5%. And right now, they are handling the DVB-T2 stuff, and wait and see what happens there. We need the go from the public and private broadcasters in Germany. This tower is well known because this was one of the first towers for a field trial for DVB-T2. That's the reason why I took this tower. Okay. Let's speed up. I think this slide is very important. It shows that we have different access networks with mobile services, with cable services, with Ethernet services, with DSL services. All these networks are connected to the concentration network. And behind there, we have different service providers, also cable service providers. We have media broadcast in Germany, which deliver the signals from the broadcasters to different points, for example, in Frankfurt, and take over these signals to the cable operators. It's really important. At the end, the difference is here. In this area, every operator at the end uses the same IP services. And right now, this area comes more close together. The next slide shows it. We have the normal backbone, and we have the different usage at the households, and we have the wireless area. And remember my words with IPTV or with second screen or other services. For example, with the iPhone, you go down to Mediathek, it's an IP service from the public broadcasters, and you can have a look via IP on your mobile of a missed picture or whatever. And if you do it via mobile services, you have only 2 or 3 days fun, and then you come to the gap with 2 gig, 5 gig, whatever. And you have to use other technologies. Normally, if you have a normal contract with your mobile, you try to find wireless LAN services. And that's really important for the cable operators, because we deliver with our cable modem services directly wireless LAN services. And therefore, it's important that both mobile operators using this device and cable come close together to handle the usage of the wireless LAN and the mobile services. Okay, important is to bring the right product to the customer. It's in Germany very, very hard to say you need more bandwidth, faster bandwidth, because people has a big amount of bandwidth. Only the DSL guys say, okay, it's too small, and we jump to cable. But it's very hard in cable to say after you have 32 megabit per second, now you have to buy 100. And the customer said, why? And therefore, it's important that we find the right packaging of all this stuff. Okay, coming to my last slides, a brief overview what happens in cable with the mobile services and mobile versus cable. In the past, we had the broadcast services, high tower, high power. That means we have very high towers, around 200 meters or 300 meters, whatever, and much power there. Right now, with mobile services, we have low tower on the top of the building, like here. And there, again, high power, and it's hard for cable to handle this power. Have a look to mobile services. Here, cable starts in Germany, normally with 32 megabit per second. And if we have a look to the different services On mobile, we start here with 10 kilobit per second. That was the old analog modem we had inside the old-fashioned laptops. There we start. And here we have UMTS. It's around 100 kilobit up to 1 megabit per second. And with LTE, the new service, long-time evolution, it's the fourth generation of mobile services. We are in the area of 10 megabit per second for the customer. And cable itself starts here with 32 megabit per second, and we have fiber to the home with 100 megabit per second. But for cable services, it's possible also to have 100 megabit per second. This shows that we have different areas of the competition of the broadband services, sorry. And this slide from Cisco is really interesting. It shows what happens with the traffic. And you see here the blue one. The blue one is the mobile traffic. And mobile operators said, okay, we need much more frequencies, we need more power, whatever, because we expect a data tsunami. But remember my slides before. This data tsunami goes to our backbone networks. And if the mobile operators expect a data tsunami, what happens in cable? It's much more, because we have our normal traffic and we have also the Wi-Fi traffic, whatever, coming from mobile services. And right now at the European Commission, we have a strong talk on the blue one. And from our perspective as ANGA, it's much more important that we talk about the green lines here with the connected traffic. Well, at IFA, we made measurements for LTE 800. We have a rollout in Germany with LTE 800, and IFA, there was one topic, LTE 800, and ANGA was with a booth at IFA, and we talked with many people around us. Where's the field trial from LTE 800? There was nothing inside the exhibition halls. We measured these are the LTE antennas, and there was no signal inside, because inside of the exhibition halls, many TV sets, microphones, whatever. And for BNetzA, our German regulator, was it important, they made some measurements, it was important that we have no disturbance to microphones or TV sets inside the halls. That was the result of the LTE field trial at IFA, and for sure, IFA is one of the biggest consumer electronic shows in Europe. Let's have a brief look. Is it okay? 3 minutes? Yeah. Brief look, what happens with the LTE channels. In Germany, we have 10 megahertz per mobile operator, and you see every mobile channel will disturb the channel of cable. It's really hard to say, is it mobile operator 1 or mobile operator 2, because they are overlapping here. If we talk right now about LTE in Germany, we talk mostly about LTE 1800. The new iPhone 5 will support the LTE 1800, and the LTE 1800 is a used frequency in the US, in many other European countries, and LTE 1800 causes no problems with cable networks. And for example, Deutsche Telekom has here in front many frequencies for using LTE 1800, and Vodafone has only this small frequency, and therefore Vodafone is quite unhappy that the iPhone 5 has LTE 1800 inside, because Vodafone has more frequency in 2.6 gig. But anyhow, iPhone, Apple decided that we have only the LTE 1800 services, and you see here the reason why Deutsche Telekom is in front of this business. Okay, we made some measuring what happens with LTE 800, not 1800, 800. And it was important that we test no level 4 equipment. We tested only TV sets with the drop lines or receiver leads. This is a kind of signal from LTE. If you talk about LTE, it's not the well-known envelope. Inside the envelope, we have different signals, and this was one 10 megahertz signal, LTE. And you see, the most time you never reach 10 megahertz. Okay, we tested outside because of the reflections. Reflections are a big problem for these services. We tested this tower. This tower was in operation. And we didn't know exactly where we stood, outside the main loop of the antenna or inside, because the mobile operator was not involved. And if you set up these measurements, be careful, because you can use the remote electrical tilt. That means that the main loop can be changed by software from the mobile operator, from their management center. If you, for example, have a customer with a problem here and you start the measuring, then the mobile operator can change the main loop and you have no problem during the measuring there. I think it's very necessary to know it. Okay, this was the first envelope of an operational 800 signal. We have no explanation why this outside signal was there, and we decided to go in this area with the channel D810. And we said, okay, if we tune a TV set without connected to an cable network or cable signal, we have problems under the envelope, and outside everything is fine. And here you see there's a modulation on the normal Gaussian noise at the TV screen, and the on-screen display is not readable. And if we jump outside to 812 megahertz, this is outside of the 811 signal from Vodafone, there you have the normal Gaussian noise, and you can read the on-screen display. That shows that we have a direct interference in the TV set. Don't know exactly where. Is it the tuner? Is it some electrical stuff? Don't know. But it's not our task to investigate it. And for this is really, 1 minute, it's really important to know what happens to a cable network. The investigation of ANGA was not in the direction LTE is a problem. We investigated what happens to a cable network when I have to operate this cable network under the influence of such a base station. And there you see in the red colored bricks the minimal test performance without any interference from a base station. And it shows that we come down to the limits of the spec of the set-top boxes. With the MER, this side is the MER, modulation error ratio, and with the power level, this is this one. And right now, we have the base station with the existing signal, and we have to increase the power in this way that we have only an operational window for the passive area of 8 dB. That's very, very small, because you have to calculate your cable network after your last amplifier to the first, to the ground floor and the next floors above, and you need such an operational window for the level. And for the MER, we had also increased the MER, But you cannot increase the MER via an amplifier. That's a problem. You have to bring fiber to your next amplifier. You have to reduce the cascade of your amplifiers, and this will be very, very expensive. If we talked at the beginning with Vodafone, they said, okay, buy another amplifier, increase your power level, everything is fine. But if you buy a next amplifier, you have the noise floor from your amplifier itself to the MER, and this will destroy your MER. It's really, really hard, and we keep, with Cable Europe, with ANGA, with the cable operators, our eyes on this topic. Okay, I think the presentation will send around after the presentation. You can read the lessons learned. One very, very important lesson was for us. We measured with Rohde and Schwarz equipment, very high-level equipment, and all our equipment was interfered by the base station signal. We talked with Rohde and Schwarz about this topic. Yeah, they have only one receiver which can handle 10 volts per meter, but this receiver is only for transmitting stuff, and it cannot handle the MER, the BER, and the levels in cable networks. And we talked with Rohde and Schwarz to handle this problem. This is also a European problem. If you talk with your regulator, with your customer, there's a problem, and you are not able to measure it in the right way. We haven't found anything about it. You have to know it. Okay, this is my last slide, be sure. For us, it's important that we exchange across Europe with the cable operators all this knowledge, the experience, what happens to our cable networks, what happens with RFOG, with the optical beat interference and stuff like this, but also with the EMC. It's really important that we go in the same direction. Therefore, it's important that also Hungary come to the national committees of CENELEC to have the right votes to the different standards. And these standards are driven by the regulators, and the regulator has in focus mobile services and not cable services. And everything which were decided in CENELEC will cost you many, many of euros. And for sure, cable has not enough euros to change the TV sets at the customer, whatever. It's important that you stay there. Also, it's important what happens with CEPT, the European regulator, to World Radio Conference 15, because we started with digital dividend 1. The next stage comes with additional 100 megahertz to us, and it will cause problems. You can read it, but important is that we have to exchange to each other, and that is also the reason why ANGA is very, very happy to stay here at your event, and please contact us, and contact us also via Ference. It's important that we exchange us and that we have a European powerful cable there. Okay, with the last slide, thank you very much, and thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, we can do it via coffee break or whatever. I stay here, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Esetleg nem tudom, itt nagy hirtelen fölindulásból van egy kérdés, valami, ami nem volt világos. Ha most nincs, akkor nagyon szépen köszönöm. Most egy kávészünet következik, és a kávészünet után folytatjuk a fórumot 11 óra 15-kor.